If there is just one thing that the two world wars have taught us, it's that wars can break out even when nobody wants to start a war. Let's revisit the First World War. It all began with a terrorist attack, something that's not at all foreign to us today. An act of international terrorism that shocks the world. In Sarajevo, in the Balkans, the Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria is murdered. He was the heir to the throne of the Austrian Empire, one of the six great powers of that time. The whole world is shocked. But no one believes that this murder will lead to a world war, not even remotely. Even the Austrian people cannot imagine that a bloody conflict is about to begin. Rather, they think that this terrorist attack is a good chance to settle accounts with an inconvenient neighbor, Serbia. The terrorists are Serbian. Austria-Hungary and Serbia have always been rivals. In Austria, many are convinced that the Serbian secret services are involved in the attack, and they are right. The secret services are responsible indeed. Nowadays, after a terrorist attack, strong countries retaliate against those who are believed to be the instigators, and so did Austria. As the US with Iraq after the attack on the Twin Towers, Austria-Hungary decides to punish the small Serbia, convinced that no other nation will intervene. Austria gives an impossible ultimatum to Serbia. If the Serbian government accepts, its sovereignty would be threatened. Of course, the ultimatum is rejected and Austria-Hungary declares war on Serbia. No one could imagine that this would be the beginning of a world conflict. The thing is, conflicts are a matter of fact for the Balkans. A regular occurrence, nothing unusual, and this war is expected to be no different. However, Serbia has a big brother, that is, Russia. The Russian Empire of Tsar Nikolai II is a Slavic country just like Serbia, Orthodox like Serbia. So the Tsar decides that Serbia must be defended, so he declares war on Austria. But Austria has a big brother too, a country that is incredibly advanced and powerful. Germany. At that time, Germany was undoubtedly the strongest military power in the world, as well as one of the richest. Led by the Kaiser Wilhelm II, the Second Reich is allied to Austria-Hungary. Nikolai II of Russia declares war on Austria, thinking that Germany will not intervene. But why not? What makes the Tsar so sure? Well, because Nikolai II and Wilhelm II are cousins, and they have known each other for a long time. They are friends, and they are accustomed to calling each other by name. Actually, by nickname, Nicky and Willy. Therefore, Nicky the Tsar is convinced that his cousin Willy will let him wage his war against Austria without taking any action. Over the next few days, the two emperors correspond in English. The Tsar explains that he cannot allow a small country like Serbia to be unjustly destroyed. Quote, I foresee that very soon I shall be overwhelmed by the pressure forced upon me and be forced to take extreme measures which will lead to war. To try and avoid such a calamity as a European war, I beg you, in the name of our old friendship, to do what you can to stop your allies from going too far. Nicky. The Kaiser highlights that Germany is allied with Austria-Hungary, so he is obliged to intervene. Quote, immediate, affirmative, clear and unmistakable answer from your government is the only way to avoid the endless misery. Until I have received this answer, alas, I am unable to discuss the subject of your telegram. As a matter of fact, I must request you to immediately order your troops on no account to commit the slightest act of trespassing over our frontiers. After a few days, Willy declares war on Nicky. 3 of the 6 European great powers are now at war. It doesn't take long for a 4th nation to join the war. A country that up to that point did not have any intention in fighting any war. France. France is allied with Russia. At that time, Europe consisted of fewer states. Poland and other Eastern European states did not exist, so Germany used to share borders with Russia in the east and with France in the west. Worried about the growing power of Germany and also having history as an ally of Russia, France declares war on Germany as soon as Germany joins the war against Russia. At this point, two European superpowers are still neutral. The weakest, Italy, and the strongest, the UK, master of international trade and ruler of the waves. The UK is not officially allied with anyone and would prefer to stay neutral. Britons do not want to die for Sarajevo after all. However, the UK has a concern about Belgium. Why Belgium, you may ask? It's because of where Belgium is located. It overlooks the English Channel and it's home to some of the largest European harbours, which guarantee supply to the UK. Even if Europe is torn apart by war, Belgium must remain neutral. Belgium is an invention of British politics after all. It was created in the 18th century to safeguard British supply. Westminster lets the world know that the UK will not join the war so long as Belgium remains neutral. France immediately declares that it has no intention of attacking Belgium. In Berlin, capital city of the Reich, Kaiser Wilhelm II summons the Field Marshal von Moltke, Commander-in-Chief of the German army, to share the good news. The UK is out of the war as long as we do not invade Belgium. Von Moltke answers, "What a shame. I have the perfect plan to win this war. Something I've been preparing for decades in every detail and that will bring our forces to Paris in a few weeks. But it implies invading Belgium." Wilhelm II asks all his generals if this plan can be stopped. Von Moltke refuses any change of plans, arguing that such a drastic alteration of a long-planned major mobilization could not be done without throwing the forces into organizational chaos, and the original plan, now set in motion, must be followed through. And so, the next day Belgium is invaded by Germany and Britain joins the war. In just a few weeks, a war that nobody was expecting and nobody wanted had begun.